Christiane Amanpour is livid at the fact that Tucker Carlson was able to secure an interview with Vladimir Putin. If you remember the old adage that hell had no fury as a woman scorned. So I can only imagine what is happening with Christiane Amanpour. In light of the fact that Tucker Carlson has gotten an interview with Vladimir Putin, Christiane pops up and says, "Look, well, we wanted an interview and we didn't get it." Well, it's no surprises here, because I can tell you, for someone who has been looking at Christiane Amanpour for over 30 years, that she has lost major credibility. As time has progressed, it seems that she has become more in the annals of Western propaganda. To say the least, if you look at her interviews, she seems to be more of a political hack. It seems to me every time she has an interview with someone that does not subscribe to a certain political suasion, that she bullies them. Christiane Amanpour was never always like that. There was a time, especially when she was at CNN, that you could have relied on her for very unbiased news. Over 30 years ago, growing up as a kid, I admired listening to her when she was on CNN. Sadly, she has drifted further and further away from the truth. The hope is that things would get better with age. Unfortunately, as we can see with CNN, which in some respect seems to have descended into a tabloid news outlet. Now, I could only imagine what the descendants of Ted Turner are feeling. They must be devastated. There was a time when you could look at CNN and get news from across the globe. Varying news with varying opinions and things that tended to be reported truthfully. Those days are long gone. I do understand there is loads of money to be made. So I could imagine that Christiane Amanpour's drift has to do with the money. She is probably less interested in her credibility and more interested in allying herself with the people who pays her well. I can only now cherish the days of the Christiane Amanpour of CNN and the Maria Hinojosa of CNN. Those were the good days. I even remember personally when I was going to school in Harlem, I was interviewed by Maria Hinojosa. A matter of fact, coincidentally, she was asking me about my opinion about the Iraq War. Now that was good journalism. Now, if you believe that I'm just dumping on Christiane Amanpour, don't take my word for it. Take a look at her recent interviews. What really got me is the one she had with Hillary Clinton. Now, there was a part in the interview where Hillary says that Trump and his MAGA supporters need to be reprogrammed. Interestingly enough, you would have thought that responsible journalism would have encouraged Christiane Amanpour to say, wait, hold up, Madam Secretary. What do you mean reprogram? It sounds a bit fascist or even communist. But she didn't. Instead, it seemed like in some sort of giggle, she bursted out in some sort of giggle and seems to agreeingly concur with Hillary. That's when you lost me. That was the final straw. You know, there is a major problem when a regular guy like Tucker Carlson, who is not part of the media mob and establishment, can secure an interview with Putin, while someone like Christiane Amanpour, who has decades of experience, cannot. Something is wrong. My guess is that Christiane Amanpour seems to have become a political hack who cannot be trusted to be unbiased.